In a dramatic escalation, some 200 Marines have arrived in Los Angeles, where they will join 2,000 National Guard troops mobilized by President Trump, despite mostly peaceful protests over federal immigration raids. And in a rare move, the Marines briefly detained a man who tried to enter a federal building they were guarding. The man, who said he is a veteran, was apparently running an errand and did not immediately hear commands to stop. In another major inflection point this week, Alex Padilla, the senior senator from California, was forcibly removed from a press conference being held by the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem.
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent...
As you can see, Senator Padilla identified himself as he was being pulled away. But here's how Kristi Noem described the situation.
And this man burst into the room, started lunging towards the podium, interrupting me and elevating his voice, and was stopped, did not identify himself, and was removed from the room. He didn't say who he was until he was already had been lunging forward, and people were trying to detain him for quite a period of time.
To be clear, much of what Secretary Noem said in that clip was not true, including and especially the idea that Padilla was, quote, lunging forward. There's no video evidence to support that wild claim. Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman from California, Judy Chu. Congresswoman Chu, thank you very much for coming to the weekend. Just this morning, Senator Padilla's office put out a statement or an announcement saying Padilla leads entire Senate Democratic caucus in demanding Trump remove military forces from Los Angeles. You are in the House, but I suspect you agree with the senator and the entire Democratic caucus in the Senate.
We totally embrace this action. And in fact, I was at a press conference just 12 hours ago with Mayor Karen Bass, the California Democratic congressional delegation, and the California legislature to say the Marines should leave Los Angeles, and also that the National Guard has no business being in Los Angeles, especially since the governor did not give permission for them to be here.
Mm-hmm. And Congresswoman Chu, your overall general reaction to the video that everyone has seen over the last 48 hours, but that we just showed, the senior senator of California being forcibly removed from that press conference being held by the Secretary of Homeland Security?
Well, that video hit us in the California Democratic congressional delegation like lightning. In fact, immediately we held a press conference on the steps of the Capitol, and we also marched to Senator Thune's office to demand answers and an investigation into what happened. He clearly did not lunge at Secretary Noem. He asked questions and identified himself immediately. And by the way, I know Senator Padilla, and he is a very, very even-tempered man who did not deserve this action.
Mm-hmm. Congresswoman, last Sunday you were barred entry to visit an ICE detention facility, and you are allowed access by merit of being an elected official in your state. What happened? And talk about the trouble with oversight for ICE's practices.
So Saturday, advocates called me. They were sick with worry because they could not reach these detainees who had been arrested en masse Friday night. And so family couldn't reach them, lawyers, they did not know if these detainees had food or medicine. So they asked me, as a member of Congress, to lead a delegation to Adelanto Detention Facility, where eyewitnesses said that they saw these detainees being transported. So yes, Congress members Gil Cisneros, Derek Tran, and I traveled up to Adelanto. But as we were about to enter the facility, they actually slammed shut the chain link fence and put chains and locks around it so that we could not enter. And yet it is our legal right to enter and conduct oversight unannounced into any detention facility of the Homeland Security.
Congresswoman,
It was outrageous.
I mean, the chains are crazy. You guys are doing your job. Congresswoman McIver was doing her job. Padilla's doing his job. Your job as a member of Congress, largely, is to check and balance what's happening on the judiciary side and the executive side. This White House believes in the unitary executive theory, where the president has a lot more power than this country is used to. We've seen Republicans in Congress kind of allow him to flout their own power, the power of the purse in Congress. And I guess I'm just curious, what do you think about where we're headed as a country, where members of Congress are seemingly, by ICE agents or whoever is at these facilities, being blocked by some kind of, I don't know, mandate or conversation? They're not just doing it, they're all not just doing it because they feel like it. Where are we headed as a country when you can't do your job as a member of Congress?
Well, these ICE agents at Adelanto clearly felt that they were above the law. And I think they were following Trump, who feels he is above the law. He feels that he can militarize this country and send National Guard wherever he pleases without the governor's approval. And I believe that he deliberately conducted these ICE raids so that he could show how much of a bully he is. And he needed to do this right before this gigantic military parade, which is such an incredible waste of the taxpayers' dollar. So, yes, it is to set up this authoritarian regime where he can do what he pleases above the Constitution.
Congresswoman Chu, I want to come back to something you said a moment ago. You mentioned that the entire California delegation, what happened to Senator Padilla, sent a jolt through the delegation, and you either sent a letter to Senate Majority Leader Thune or got in contact with this office. I'm just wondering if you have had any reaction from Senator Thune, anyone in his office, in response to your communication with him.
No, we haven't. Actually, as soon as the Padilla assault happened, we marched to Senator Thune's office.
Right.
He was not there, but the staffer said he would not respond to us until he talked to Alex Padilla and also to Kristi Noem. But we have not gotten a response from them yet.
Congresswoman Judy Chu, thank you so much for coming on.